I decided to go ahead and do my broth today since I've got a little bit of a cough and I don't want to go outside and chance getting really, really sick. So I got my bones out of the freezer that I had and putting them into this big stock pot here that was gifted to me by my friend Janice when I went to a yard sale the other day to visit her. She gifted it to me. So thank you, Janice. I appreciate that. To that, I'm going to add a bag containing onion peels and celery pieces. I'm going to have to probably add some more celery pieces to it because I don't have a whole lot, I don't think. I have to see what's in the other bag. I'm also pressuring some chicken today out of my freezer to can. So if you hear that start. Okay, I should have enough celery. This is celery and carrots in this one. So, got all those added. I need to cover it with water. Let me get my water. Be about a gallon of water at least. No, I'm going to need a little bit more. Let me get another jug. And I have to go on a water run soon. I refill my water at Walmart. I usually do it once a month, but when it's canning time, I use quite a bit. So sometimes I have to go twice a month, which seems to be going to be just okay. So that's about not quite 1.5. Let me see, sure it's completely covered everything. Yeah, it looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a couple bay leaves in there. Throw in 3. Nice number. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Not much. Two healthy pinches. And some peppercorns, which I failed to add to the one in the pressure cooker, but I think it'll be okay. Maybe a teaspoon. I'm going to put this on the back burner. Turn it on high. Maybe. And when it comes up to a boil, I will turn it down to a simmer. Put the lid on it and simmer it for at least 24 hours. I'll probably have to even add water to it as we go because it will evaporate. But it'll pretty much just simmer all day and probably all night and most of the day tomorrow. And then we'll see where we're at. I like a dark broth. I don't like the light colored broth. So when I do it this way, I get my dark broth. This way, I don't think it's going to be quite as dark because there's not as many vegetables in it. I took the recipe from Miss Wolfie at our Half Acre Homestead, and she didn't put a whole lot of vegetables in hers. She did it more for flavoring, and so I'll just combine the two broths together when I get ready to can it. So, excuse me. We'll let this come up to a boil. This is coming up to pressure. We'll have to vent it and everything just like we do whenever we can. And this will go for 90 minutes. This will go for probably at least a good day and a half, maybe 2 days. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so our chicken that we're pressuring has come up to pressure. The bubble came up. It vented for 10 minutes. Now we put our weight on it and we've got a jiggle. So I've turned the temperature down to about medium, and we're going to let this pressure for 90 minutes like you would. I mean, Miss Wolfie says that way that chicken just falls off the bone. So we'll see how it does. I believe in her, and I've followed a lot of her recipes, so I don't see any reason why this would be any different. And this one over here has yet to come up to a boil, so it takes a while when you got quite a few things in there. It's steaming, but it has to come up to a boil before we can set it to a simmer. Okay, so our chicken that we're pressuring has come up to pressure. The bobble came up. It finished for 10 minutes. Now we put our weight on it and we've got a jiggle. So I've turned the temperature down to about medium, and we're going to let this pressure for 90 minutes like you would. I mean, Miss Wolfie says that way that chicken just falls off the bone. So we'll see how it does. I believe in her, and I've followed a lot of her recipes, so I don't see any reason why this would be any different. And this one over here has yet to come up to a boil, so it takes a while when you got quite a few things in there. It's steaming, but it has to come up to a boil before we can set it to a simmer. Welcome back. It's the next day. I drained off the broth and the chicken, and I drained off the vegetable and chicken broth and put them both in the fridge and let them set overnight, so that if there was any fat, it would come to the top and I could take it off. So today I'm going to can, right now I'm canning my chicken in the broth, and then I'm hoping to get my vegetable broth canned today as well. Just get it all done in one fell swoop. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to skim the fat off the top of this chicken broth. I have my canner heating up, and I have my jars in it warming up. So while they're doing that, I'll take care of this icky fat stuff. So let me see if I can get you a little bit better angle here. You can see the fat that's gathered there. Get something to skim it off with. The stuff underneath is very gelatinous. Usually I don't have it set up that well, so I'm very tickled with it, because usually that's not, I don't have good luck with that. Let me see if a small spoon will do better. I feel like I'm taking too much of the broth with it. Yeah, that's much better. I won't be able to get it all, but I do want to try and get most of it. It's very sticky. Did you get good breakfast? Finally got him to eat. He's not been eating good. He doesn't eat good when the weather changes. Okay, that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get. If there's a little bit of fat in there, it ain't going to hurt anything. So this is what we got. As you can see, it jiggled. So I'm going to get that in a pot and get it started warming up. We'll get this canned up today. And then with the chicken, what I pressure canned the other day, me and Chiggy had a small meal out of it. I had some in rice, and he had a little bit for dinner. So this is the chicken that we've got that I'm going to can up. So I'm ready to get this canned up, canning journey started. I've got my chicken over here out of camera range. I have got my hot broth. I've got my rings. My lids are on the stove warming up. My jars are warm in the canner. I've got my funnel, my lid grabber, my debubbler, my jar lifter, And I've got my ladle in my broth. And I've got my vinegar to wipe my rings. So I think I'm ready. For once, I may have everything organized. Let's see. Because we are putting hot broth into the jars have to be hot, and the canner will have to be hot. I'm going to put some chicken down in here. Since it's just me and Chiggy, I don't have to fill it completely full of chicken. About half a pint will take care of us for our meal. Then I'm going to fill the rest of it up with the hot broth. I've canned this once before like this, and boy did it make for a delicious chicken noodle soup. 1-inch headspace. Get that chicken off my fingers. Going to always remember to wipe your rims with vinegar cloth. Get any fat from that chicken that may have gotten on there when you put it in there, and you don't want anything to stand between your rim and your lid. Okay. Got my warm lid. Put it on with my rings. Fingertip tight, and into the canner that will go. Go ahead and heat up some of this vegetable broth. I just got done skimming what I could off of it. I'm going to heat it up and use it with the rest of that chicken, and then can up some broth because I've only got 4 pints in there and I'd like to run a full load, so I'll do that way. Got the vegetable broth heated up, so we're back for the second part of this, which is hopefully going to go a little bit quicker and a little bit more smoothly. And that's the last of the chicken that was in that bowl. So the rest will be just broth. Let me wash my hands off. Right here. Bubble. Won't need that anymore. Wouldn't be me canning unless I drop something, I swear. Wipe the rims. Hi, baby boy. Did you come to see what I dropped? Hey, what you doing here, Tracy? Making those noises.
Somebody came to see what all the noise was about when Tracy was dropping stuff. And this is the sweet little face I get to see. Oh, baby boy. Tracy loves him.
I had to come and investigate. Yeah. Fingertip tight. And into the canner.
I have 9 pints in all. That's how many my pressure canner will hold. 5 with chicken and broth, and the other 4 just vegetable broth. And I still have another big bowl and part in that pot I was using left for the vegetable broth, so there will be another canner load put in today. So I brought the temperature up. I'm going to put the lid on and then let it vent for 10 minutes, and then put the weight on and let it go for 75 minutes for pints, because there is meat in some of them, so I'll have to let the whole canner load go for the same amount of time, which is 75 minutes.
And there they are on my shelf. They're not going to stay here. That's temporary because I'm rearranging my pantry. So I ended up with 12 pints of the vegetable broth, and then I ended up with 5 pints of the chicken and broth. One of the broths that it's in is the vegetable broth. So this should last a while.